Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. I've been getting a few questions from clients regarding the coils. How do I use the AccuVac coil? How do I use the feedback loop coil? So I thought I'd do a video just to do a quick demonstration in regards to this. Now I currently don't have somebody with me that we can do a demonstration on, but you'll get the gist of how to use them. Okay, so first of all, we've got the AccuVac coil, okay, and I do sell this size, but also sell a smaller size, which is more of a pocket size. Comes with its own little bag. It's a little bit more convenient. They both work just as well of each other. Just whatever model you want to do and how long it's going to take to work, but you'll get the same result. So one thing that you need to know about the AccuVac coil is the two ends. These two ends, right? And then there's a bead here. Okay, so for the ones that you'll be getting, I sell the beads inside. Okay, so this end, which is connected from one end to the other, is within the coil. Okay, now the end that's got the bead furthest away from it, the end that's got is further away from the bead, is the gun end that you want to start with. Okay, and that's gonna draw out or vacuum that negative field or negative energy that is sitting there that creates inflammation and pain. Okay, inflammation and pain are just sensory responses of the body to tell you, hey, something's not right, do something about it. Okay, for example, you think if we didn't have pain, you could have a car run over your foot and you wouldn't know it's damaged. Okay, you get pain to tell you, hey, something's not right, you need to pull that away. Or it's same with putting your hand over a flame. All of a sudden, oh, I'm going to bring that back because you're feeling a pain sensation. Okay, so pain sensory, inflammation sensory, it's a marker to tell you something's not right in that area. Okay, at the energetic level, what's going on there is the frequency, the vibration of that area is not working at its correct function. There's non-compatible field in that area. It's not compatible for that area to work properly. So what we do here is we work at that level, drawing out that non-compatible field. Okay, and then the next part of what I'm going to show you, the AccuVac, then we allow compatible field to go back in, and that's how we remove the inflammation and the pain. Okay, so as I say, you want to use this gun end to start with, which is furthest away from the bead end. And what you want to do, say for example, I've got a headache on my right side, or you go, if you're using it yourself, it's better if you could get somebody else to use it. Also, you can place it on a bench or anything that's at that level, pointing in the direction where you want it to work. And you can just let it sit on the bench until you get the desired effect. Okay, so what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to either put it on the bench and direct it in that area, hold it into the area. Say for example, I've got a headache here, and what you want to do is just gently anti-clockwise rotate the coil for it to get a grab or hold of that field. Okay, and then all of a sudden what you want to do is you just want to start slowly drawing back and drawing back. And what you'll feel when you become sensitive to it is you'll feel a bit of resistance, like the coil wants to come back, like that. Okay, now what you can do is you can do that, and you just draw it back, come back close to it again, do that anti-clockwise, and then draw back and draw back and draw back again. And as you draw back until you might feel, oh, it's smooth there, and then oh, there's a pocket of resistance there, and just keep it there for a bit. Just keep it there for a bit. You don't need to rotate it then. And then just start to pull it back again. Oh, that resistance gone. I've drawn that stuck energy out. Okay, and you just draw back and draw back and draw back, and you just keep doing that until you feel like you can pull it back and there's no resistance whatsoever. You know that the job's done. Or pulled out that non-compatible field. I like to use the analogy of this coil, or the way that we do it energetically, like a bit like a dialysis machine for somebody that has kidney failure. The dialysis machine draws the blood out of that person's body, and it goes through a machine where that blood is cleaned and then put back in the body. And this is kind of, we're doing that in an energetic way, because we've drawn out that field, that pocket of field that wasn't serving you right in that area. So there's a void left there now. So what you do, this is the second part of using it. We've used that end so far to draw out that's what's called AccuVac, vacuum it out. Now what we do now is we swap it around and we use the end that's closest to the bead. And what that's going to do is impart white light, pure energy now to charge that void up with positive field, compatible field now, okay? The cool thing about this coil is it transmutes negative field or negative energy into positive energy. We've drawn out negative energy from this end. Now we're going to impart positive out this way. So all of a sudden, what you do now, you don't necessarily have to rotate now with the end closest to the bead, because what you're doing is you just let it sit there and allow a positive field or a positive energy to go into that area and fill that void, that space up, okay? So what you do is there, you just keep it there, and you'll notice that it'll start to vibrate a little bit, and you'll notice, all of a sudden notice, one thing I must say, also with that end that we initially used, which is the furthest from the bead, and we're drawing that negative field out, you'll feel that resistance, you're waiting for that resistance to be removed, and the job's done. But another thing, you just want to keep doing that until the desired result. So for example, the headache's gone, or most of the pain is gone, okay, then it's time to charge that area up, okay? So again, the end closest to the bead is the charging end, and we just hold it into that area, and you can also pull back just to see how far through the clearing it is. As I say, you'll know the clearing's done when there's no resistance when you're pulling it back, okay? And you just keep it there, and you just keep it there until, again, your desired effect. If you've got pain somewhere, if it's 8 or 9 out of 10 of the pain, once it's 0 out of 10 of the pain, or 1 or 2 out of, okay, we've got the desired effect, the job's done, okay? Now, a cool thing about the AccuVac coil, if you're suffering with a chronic problem, I get a lot of chronic problems. People that come to me, have been to a number of other people, they've got problems they've had for a very long time, they're bedridden, they're very chronic, okay? We work on that, okay? Now, for people that have got chronic problems, it's going to take a bit of a journey or process to come fully out of it, okay? We're going to do a session, you're going to notice a difference, but it's still going to be a journey for you to allow enough sustenance of energy for the body to then repair itself. Because what we're doing with the energy clearings, we're removing the blockages, we're removing the things that are making that area of your body low vibrational, so therefore your body cannot heal itself. Then all of a sudden we need to give that area sustenance of energy to then heal itself. And this coil is fantastic in doing that, because what it's doing is we're drawing non-compatible field or inflammation out of the area. Now, when you roll over and twist your ankle, and all of a sudden your ankle swells, that's a good form of inflammation, because the body naturally does that to protect that part of your body from getting further damage. But a lot of the time, the issue is people are just getting inflammation, there's systemic inflammation in that area all the time, every single minute of the day. And when it's there every single minute of the day, day after day, it really impairs your body's recovery process and its ability to heal faster. So this tool is fantastic in drawing that out, and therefore allowing your recovery of healing to be a speedier process. So that's one thing about the AccuVac coil. So that's the AccuVac coil. Now, the feedback loop. Okay, so the difference between that, okay, is there's one and another, okay, and you can see that the surface area, especially with a large one, is quite big compared to the feedback loop, okay? So therefore, it's going to pull a lot more all at once with a bigger surface area, and that's why it's really cool to, I'll just show you this, to use like a tensor ring like this one, or a sun ring. And what you do is you get, again, the end furthest away from the bead, and what you can do is you can just connect it into the ring, like so, okay, like that. Okay, and then you can get the feedback loop, and you can connect it like that, okay? And what you do, now all of a sudden you've created a surface area of that size of the ring, okay? So it can amplify the effect of both the coils, because you've created a surface area of that size of that ring now, okay? So that's the benefit of using the tensor ring with the coils, but you can also get a similar effect with the sun ring as well. So that is the AccuVac. We'll move on to the feedback loop coil. So as you can see, there's one coil here. This one is essentially does the same as that, but you can see that it's drawn. There's a bend there, okay, and it's looped, right? So instead of with this one, you're drawing all the negative field out and then imparting the positive field back in. This tool's doing both of those roles at the same time. Okay, it's just going to take a bit longer, as I say, because the little surface areas are smaller. Okay, so what it's doing at a quicker speed. It's drawing out negative field, positive in, negative out, positive in, negative out, positive in. Because it's doing that very quickly, it's going to take longer to do that effect. But the cool thing about a feedback loop, and this is a large one, I sell the medium-sized ones because they're more convenient for people to use, is they've got a little connection here, a little clip, which makes more convenience because you can clip it on part of your body. So for example, I've had somebody who's bought this particular tool to work on their thyroid, and they've been able to massively reduce their medication for their thyroid, because the thyroid doesn't work when it's inflamed. Okay, we draw the inflammation out, we draw the non-compatible field out of the thyroid out, then all of a sudden the thyroid can start to create more thyroid hormone. It can work more efficiently. Okay, same for, as I said before earlier about the recovery of an organ or a part of your body that you've got pain or issues or it just doesn't work properly. It's going to increase the speed of its recovery and allow the body to heal it. Okay, so for example, thyroid, sore throat, congestion within the head, what you want to do is you just want to clip it on like that, and that's working up there. It's working on the thyroid, working on the throat, on the head, sinuses. It's wonderful for that. You can clip it like this on the top of your like a belt buckle or the top of your jeans or pants, and therefore that's going to work on your lumbar spine if you're wanting to draw inflammation from that area. If you suffer with lower back pain, you can put it on the top of your pants on the front of your hair to work on the abdomen if you've got inflamed, if you have ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, these sorts of things, or you suffer with urinary system problems. So the one question I got with the feedback loop was that, do we also draw it out like we do with the AccuVac coil? No, because what we're doing here, as I say, is just drawing stuff out once from one end, and then we're putting it back in from one end. This one's doing that at the same time. So all you want to do is, because it takes a little bit longer, you just want, that's the cool thing about the clip, is if you can clip it somewhere, you can just leave it there for a while. Okay, if you clip it there, you can just leave it there, walk around home, and do things while you've got it clipped on there. And if you want it to put it on a bench and just sit it at a height that's going to work on, say for example, inflammation in the sinuses or in the head, you got a head cold, you just sit it there and allow it just to work on you over a number of hours if you're sitting at a desk, you've got a desk job or something. Another option is when you're sleeping at night, to have this right by your bedside, have it at a height that is going to be drawing out negative field and imparting positive field back into you while you're sleeping at night. So it's more about just letting it sit there and directing it in the direction what you want to work on. Now you can obviously use intent with these tools as well. Okay, all these tools have consciousness to them. Okay, so the easy way of using them is obviously pointing them in the direction of the area that you want to work upon without the intent. That will work. But if you want to be a little bit more specific about it, if you've got a bit of intuition or dowsing capability of knowing specifically where the problem is, you can use the intent of those areas that you want to draw it out on. And people see that within my client sessions. We do that because a lot of the times I'm working with people over Skype on a camera, so therefore I can't specifically direct this right on at their knee if they've got knee pain or any issue like that. So we just make the intent to draw out inflammation using the AccuVac coil with a part of the knee or their hip or their lumbar spine. So that's essentially it in regards to using the two coils. I hope I've answered the questions to the people that had questions regarding these coils, the feedback loop and the AccuVac coil. And as I say, they work really well with like a tensoring. This is a Sacred Raw Cubit, but I do sell the other rings as well, a Lost Cubit and the Arc. It's a trio set, and they work very well with the coils to amplify the effect and create a bigger surface area to work upon. But they also work really well with the Sun Ring as well, if you want to impart these two with the Sun Ring. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any more questions about the coils or anything of that nature, or the energy healing I do, just post any questions below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks.